Hey, so one of the other cool things that I started doing recently was playing Final Fantasy on Android, and this is actually one of the more modern Final Fantasy releases. And I kind of wanted to show you how well this works on Android. So you can see here I have my GameSir TS1 Bluetooth controller, which is connected to my Sony Android tablet, and you can kind of see just walking around here how well this all really works. And I was quite surprised by this myself, actually. There's no lag or anything else. Of course, you can try this on your phone, but as I'm using it to actually record this video, I can't actually show you that. Of course, with the something like the GameSir, this then has the ability to actually hold your phone. To be honest, this doesn't really win any awards for best feeling controller or admit this feels really like plasticky, the holder. But it'll do the trick. It will keep your phone secure, and then you can play on the go. But as I said, as I'm using this for filming, I have to show you on my tablet, and surprisingly, this works pretty well. Loading is pretty fast, and you'll be able to see that it works quite smoothly. So you can now get Final Fantasy on the go. Obviously, this is Wilder Final Fantasy, and this is a very recent release, otherwise known as the Pokemon ripoff. I'm obviously way too powerful for this particular battle, but it just gets to show you a kind of look and feel for how well this plays. Now, I'm not being entirely truthful here. This is not a video. I am actually playing this, as you can see. This is actually working using Moonlight. And if you have ever used Moonlight, I've never heard of this. This game is actually playing on my PC in another room, and it works really well. So, if for example you don't have a Switch and you want to play some, portable gaming on the go or in another room, or just something a bit more casual than in front of a desktop or a desk, you can get Moonlight and install it on your Android, and it works really, really, really well. You can see it's really smooth. This is all Wi-Fi. This is not using Ethernet. This is actually going over 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. If you have anything else like 2.4, then yeah, definitely upgrade your Wi-Fi connection. This particular tablet, I think, is running a Snapdragon 810, so I think it's pretty powerful, certainly for the time. But yeah, it works really well. I do recommend running game streaming on a tablet because it will use up your phone battery pretty quick. I've tried other apps which like Remoter and stuff, but I do notice that there's quite a lot of lag. Although it does work much better, outside of the home. Over 4G connection, this works really well, and it doesn't actually use that much data. So where I've used Remoter, and you have a pretty fast 4G connection, it doesn't use anywhere near as much as you think it would. I have a 16 gigabyte plan, so obviously my description and understanding of what a lot of data is may differ to yours. However, this works really well, and partly why I'm obviously playing this is to show you how well you know how well it plays. I've actually played this for hours, like this, and occasionally you get some lag, but it's not too bad. You don't notice it too much, and it's a really great experience. You can play other games. I do find World of Final Fantasy to be a particularly good choice because it's easy to play, and yeah, give it a go. So in order for this to work, you need to have an NVIDIA graphics card. I don't think this supports AMD, as I have a GTX 1070. That's not an issue for me, and you can see how well this plays. You do obviously get sound, and you can obviously plug in some headphones so you don't disturb other people. And obviously I've turned that down so you can actually hear my review. But I think this should give you quite a good idea as to, what kind of experience you can get. I haven't actually tried Moonlight over 4G yet because I'm having some problems with port forwarding. But, Remoter certainly works. And yeah, if you've got, a 1070 and an Android device, this works pretty well. So obviously got to leave your computer running all day to actually maybe use it for a few hours when you go out. But, it just gives you the ability to, play on a sofa, play in another room, play it's a bit more comfortable. And it, means you can, play wherever you want. Now, if you have any comments or questions or how to get this set up, let me know. I'm more than happy to try and help anybody out. But as you can see, this does work really well. And because it is quite a new release and it's a much smaller screen size than a computer, the graphics look amazing. It's a pretty nice looking game. Although I think it did originally come out in 2015. It's quite surprising how good it looks. If you're using it on your phone with obviously, the phone grip and the controller, this does work rather well. One thing I do feedback about this: if you're playing any like platform games or any fighting games, this really isn't good enough. I do find that you just can't quite get enough on the analogs. They just don't respond quick enough. So for something like World of Final Fantasy is really good. For Sonic or traditional high-speed platform games, it's really just not good enough. Also, partly why I'm taking my time with playing this is because that way people don't think this is a video. I'm about to hit Y. I'm sure people think, oh, this is a video, he's pre-recorded all this. No, this is actually streaming from my PC in the next room. And, I'm able to, play this for as long as I want. Still got 92% battery. Again, if you are on a phone, this will go through your battery pretty quick. If you don't have a Switch and you kind of don't want to spend a lot of money on a Switch, but you still want the idea of, gaming somewhere, not cramped up in front of your desk or just on the sofa, or give someone a chance to use a TV if you're like when you have it, connected to your TV. This is a really nice way of playing, and I do recommend getting the game, sir. Particularly because this does have a Wi-Fi USB connector, which I've actually taken out. And so you can actually play, World of Final Fantasy over on the PC using a Wi-Fi connector, so you have a lot less lag. But when you decide you want to play it on the go, or you can use exactly the same controller over Bluetooth like I'm doing. So this is a pretty good investment. I do recommend buying this directly from China because it will be about half the price. Otherwise, if you get this directly from, Amazon.com or .co.uk, you're paying virtually the same price as an Xbox One controller, and this is definitely not the same kind of quality. I thought it does feel a bit cheap when you first get out. It's definitely nothing like a PS controller or an Xbox controller, but it does the job pretty well, and I do like the fact that it is rechargeable, as you can see here. Although I do find the battery indicator to be a little bit suspect, but it works pretty well. So this is my kind of gaming setup, which works for me. So if you're thinking about different ways you can play games on your Android tablet or anything else, apparently I won something there, then give this a go.